Recorded live.
Good evening and welcome to Garden City Community Chat. This podcast is dedicated to promoting our community and yours, offering news you can use and much more. And now, Garden City Community Chat. Well, good evening, Garden City, and hello to our friends in Westland, Dearborn Heights, Inkster, Redford, Livonia, Plymouth, and Canton. Thanks for joining us tonight. You're listening to Garden City Community Chat, show number 293 for May 26, 2016. This is Garden City's only live podcast where we share news you can use and promote our community and yours. I'm your host, Kerry, and as you can see on our video, if you're watching our video later on, I am the only one in studio, and there's a reason as to why Mike isn't here. The good news is Mike is back from vacation, but the bad news is Mike is in the hospital and not doing so well. Last time I talked to his wife, as of yesterday, they still haven't determined what is wrong with him. He's on IV fluids and has a very bad sore throat. He's having a hard time keeping things down, so they're looking at keeping him in the hospital at least 3 more days, do some tests, so please keep Mike in your thoughts and prayers. And Mike, we are praying for a speedy recovery and hope to have you back on the show soon. And as I learn more information about Mike's condition, I will pass it along to you. Also, Doppler Tom is not with us live tonight. He has a prior commitment, but he did have time to record the latest weather update for us for the holiday weekend. We'll get to that shortly. And it's the end of the month, so our good friend Senator David Knezek will be calling in with his updates for us. In about 15 minutes or so, we'll get to David. Joy and Holly will be here a little later with their gardening tips for you, and I have some community announcements, as always, and much more. So why not sit back, relax, grab your favorite beverage. Hope it's a cold one tonight because it is warm out there, and join us for the next 60 minutes or so. Should be another good one. I've been talking about it for several weeks now. We're going to be celebrating our 6th year of being on the air with TalkShoe, and that's going to take place on our June 9th show, so we hope you'll be able to stop by and spend some time with us. And then on July 14th, we're going to be celebrating our 300th show. We're only 7 away, if you can imagine that, and I can finally announce where we're going to be celebrating and doing our show live. Cheryl and I were asked to meet with Don Wakefield Tuesday at his office in Westland, who you remember he's been on our show a couple times to discuss the new art center that he's bringing to the venue located next to the Moose Lodge. Cheryl had mentioned to Don that I'll be celebrating our 300th show, and we hadn't picked a venue as of yet to do the show live from, and immediately Don said, have it here at the Art Center. He was so enthused and excited. I mean, we both were. So we agreed, shook hands, and I couldn't be more thrilled. So mark your calendars for July 14th. It's going to be at the new Art Center. We'll be doing our show live from there, but it's going to be a special time, 7 p.m., we'll have several guests, some giveaways, food will be available, cake. You'll be able to check out and take a tour of the new Art Center and much more. So we hope you'll be able to be a part of this celebration. 7 p.m., July 14th at the new Art Center coming to the venue next to the Moose on Ford Road. It's going to be a blast, so hope to see you there. And don't forget, on top of all of this, we have several community events that will be taking place throughout the year, not only here in Garden City, but our surrounding communities as well. Westland is actually celebrating their 50th anniversary, and I think they're going to be having an event just about every month. And we'll be here to announce all the events for you as soon as we know when and where. Remember, if your community has some great events coming up this year, get that information to us so we can get it on the air for you, you can do that by mailing us at gccommunitychat@gmail.com, and we'll get it out there for our listeners. So 2016 looks to be a busy, busy year. We invite you to be a part of the conversation here tonight. We'll all be here to answer any questions you may have, and we have a couple ways you can do that. You can call in at 1-724-444-7444 and enter the call ID 82757 followed by the pound sign. Or you can join us in our chat room by going online to TalkShoe.com and search for call ID 82757. That's going to take you right to our main show page where you'll click on the large Join In button. A window's going to open. Click and sign in as a guest, and that's all there is to it. Once you're in the chat room, you can type your questions and comments at the bottom of the page, and you'll find our phone number and show ID there as well. If you'd like to text your questions to us, that number is 734-788-9319. We look forward to hearing from you. Now, remember, all our shows are recorded so you can catch us later at your convenience, which several of our listeners do by going to our main show page, where you'll find all 293 shows listed for you in order. So please check them out. The audio from tonight's show will be posted and available on our Facebook page at facebook.com/GCChat about 30 minutes or so after we sign off tonight, so please look for that. We're also doing a live unedited video of tonight's show, so you can put a face with the voice, and that will be made available tomorrow on our YouTube channel at youtube.com/communitychatshow. Please look for that. And while you're there, why not subscribe to the channel? That way you'll be notified when we post future shows. Just click on the little red subscribe button right below the video. All right, let's get Tom in here now and see about our weather for the upcoming holiday weekend. And then we're going to chat with Senator Knezek, hopefully, if he's on the phone, and see what is new with him. So let's get Tom in here right now. Okay, let's get a check on the weather with Doppler Tom, see what he has in store for the rest of this week and the weekend. Tom, what do you have for us?
What a difference a new week means for us here in southeast Michigan. Last week, we were in the mild temperatures in the 60s and 70s, but a new week, more warmer temperatures all this week. We've been dealing with temperatures in the mid-80s all week, and it's going to be continuing for the foreseeable future. So if you like the heat, it's going to continue, and if you don't like the heat, I have some good news. I mean, we aren't going to see a whole lot of heat as it continues into the beginning of June, but it isn't going to get very cold either, and we'll get to those details shortly. But as we get into the rest of tonight, we'll be dealing with overall a cloudier evening out there. We're probably not going to see too much rain out there, but there could be some passing showers across parts of our area like it was last night. It's not going to be anything widespread. So if you have any outdoor plans, like starting that holiday weekend a little bit early, it should be okay. I wouldn't cancel anything. And those temperatures will be mild in the upper 60s for overnight lows. And as we get into tomorrow, it's going to be overall, I think the rainiest day of the entire holiday weekend is going to be Friday. A, it's not going to be a complete washout. B, there's going to be plenty of dry time out there. And C, there's going to be a very warm and humid air mass across the entire region tomorrow. So overall, I don't think it's going to be a whole lot of rain, but when it does rain, it can be pretty heavy, and that will be during the afternoon and evening hours. And those temperatures, again, will probably be in the mid-80s for high temperatures. And with the humidity, heat indices could get close to 90 degrees, which is some of the warmest temperatures we've been dealing with for the entire year so far. And as we get into the weekend, I do think overall the weekend is going to be a quieter weekend than what we're going to be dealing with on Friday. I do think that it's going to continue to be a very warm weekend. Temperatures will be in the mid-80s through the entire weekend with those heat indices approaching 90 degrees. And I do see overall not a whole lot of rain chances. I do see some rain chances as we get into part of the weekend. But overall, I don't think it's going to be a complete washout. Like I said, when it does rain, it's going to be quick, on and off rain, and some of that rain can be heavy at times. So if you have any outdoor plans, I wouldn't cancel anything because it doesn't look like it's going to be an all-day rain. But I do think that some rain is definitely possible over the next 36 to 48 hours. And as we start a new week into June, on Memorial Day, first of all, is going to be overall a good day. I don't see any rain chances on Memorial Day, and those temperatures will, again, be in the low to mid-80s. So overall, a great Memorial Day coming up if you have any plans in Memorial Day itself. And as we get into June, I do see a little bit of a pattern shift beginning to develop into June. I do see a little bit of a milder air mass moving in. I wouldn't say cooler air mass, but a milder air mass. I do see temperatures starting out early in the week in the low 80s, and as we get into the latter part of the week and into that following weekend, temperatures will cool down into the upper 70s, and that's as cold as they're going to get. I know the word cold is scary, but it's just a relative term here. Overall, these temperatures will probably be in the upper 70s as we get into the beginning of June, and that will probably continue into the mid part of June, and then I do see a little bit of another warm-up back into the upper 80s as we get into the end of June. So overall, it's going to be a warm month out there as we get into June. But if we expand outward and talk about the other weather going on, and this big storm system has been all across the country, the biggest story, again, is for this time of year, you probably already know the answer, is severe weather. That's been the biggest story, and that has been ongoing across the central United States and the plains and the south. And currently, today is no other story. We're dealing with a lot of severe weather across the plain states, Colorado, Kansas, Nebraska, Oklahoma, and Texas, Missouri, and Iowa. They've been dealing with severe weather, and they're going to continue to deal with severe weather with some large hail, damaging winds, and tornadoes, and even flooding as well. And as we talk about the tropics, as I was talking about June 1st is the first day of the hurricane season, and it's always good to be prepared nevertheless. But there is a little bit of a potential problem out there in the Atlantic. It doesn't look like it's going to blow up into anything big, but there is a little bit of a complex storm off the coast of Florida, and that's going to be potentially bringing some rain across the southeastern United States and some rain, but it doesn't look like it's going to be a very big storm at this time. But it's that time of year to really keep tuned to the Atlantic, because any storm clusters out there in the Atlantic can quickly change into something powerful. And it's been over 10 years since Florida has been directly impacted by a hurricane, which is something that is baffling, because if you look at Florida on a map, it's just a sore thumb right into the ocean. And it's very remarkable that they have not been hit by a hurricane in a very long time. And I do think their luck, and I use that word very loosely, their luck will run out sooner or later. And it's always good to have a hurricane kit if you live across the Gulf Coast states and even into the East Coast, because a few years back we dealt with Hurricane Sandy, and that got all the way up into New York City. So it's never bad to really deal with hurricanes out in there, so it's always good to have a plan. And as we talk about some other weather, the West has been dealing with, like I said, no rain. The drought's continuing across the West, and that's going to be continuing for a very long time, and that's never good. The wildfires across Canada, I'll update that quickly. Those are ongoing, and they're just starting to get under control, but they're still ongoing out there. And overall, the active weather is going to be continuing across the central U.S., and that's typical for this time of year, but it's always good to be safe and to have a plan in case severe weather strikes. But overall, I don't see any severe weather here in Michigan over the next 7 days with these rains and these heavy downpours of storms out there. But it's never hard or necessary to always be ahead of these weather, because you never know, and it's always good to have a plan and severe weather plan. But that will probably be a bigger problem as we get into the summer months, but I don't see any severe weather. But if you want to keep tuned to all this local weather information, just go to my website, DopplerTomsWeather.com.
All right. Thank you, Tom. Appreciate it. Doesn't sound like a total washout anyway, so we will keep our eyes to the skies. All right. At this time, I'd like to welcome to the show our favorite guest of all time, Senator David Knezek. How you doing, Senator?
I'm good, sir. How are you doing?
I'm doing awesome. Trying to stay cool.
Oh, yeah, you and me both.
Yeah, it's pretty warm out there, isn't it?
I got the AC cranked up in the car right now.
So tell us, what's the latest in Lansing, and what do you have to report for us that's new and the floor?
Well, we got a couple things that are swirling around in Lansing right now. I know in the past I've talked about the Detroit Public Schools legislation, and we kicked a package out of the Senate a couple weeks ago. Well, it was a couple months ago at this time. Over to the House of the Representatives, and was not met with a ton of support. You know, the House wants to put their tweaks and their changes on it and send it back to us.
Right.
The problem is I don't know if it's going to find much support when it comes back to the Senate. And so when that happens, you've got a couple options. The one that I think is most likely to happen is because both chambers, the House and the Senate, can't agree on any language for the bill. You create what's called a conference committee, and a conference committee takes people who are appointed from the House and the Senate, Democrat, Republican, sit them down, get them in a room, and they iron out the differences. And then they send that bill back to both chambers for a simple up or down vote. If it gets a simple majority, it passes. If it fails, it's dead, and the bills are dead along with it.
So how far are you? I mean, is it quite a distance or what?
There's two major sticking points. The first is on the dollar value that is being appropriated to cover the situation in Detroit Public Schools. The Senate passed a plan that included $715 million. $515 was to pay off the debt, and the remaining $200 million was to upgrade those, crumbling buildings that we've been reading about in the newspaper. Some operating costs, enough to get them through the summer, and then when they get their first state aid payment in the fall, the district would have enough money to pick up and be functional on their own. The House of Representatives passed a $500 million plan, and now this isn't according to me. This is according to the Department of Treasury. The plan that the House passes puts Detroit Public Schools back into a deficit by August. So, if you're going to fix the problem, let's fix the problem. And, not have to come back to the legislature a couple months later asking for more. So, there's a significant disagreement right now over that number. You would think it's a slam dunk, but some folks just don't think that additional $200 million is needed to get things off the ground. And even though the treasurer is saying it's not enough, they're still finding a reason to push back. And the other piece, there's really just two. The other piece that is being met with some resistance is this concept around developing a commission that has a say over how, when, and where we open schools in Detroit. And so I think I've talked in the past about if you go to Southwest Detroit, had 12 schools open and close in the last 16 months. And if you go to Northeast Detroit, you have 6,000 high school age kids and 2 high schools to serve them. If you go to the Woodward Corridor, you've got 1,800 high school age kids and 11 high schools to serve them. And so, there's no rhyme or reason right now to that process. And so we created a board, if you will, a commission in the Senate plan that says, if you're a high-achieving school, if you're doing good things, and if you're kicking out great students, A's and B's and stuff, all right, go wherever you want to go. We're not going to get picky about it. But if you're not a good school, you don't just get to go wherever you want. And you're not going to create these problems that we have today where you've got so many schools serving such a small population in some areas and such a huge population with so few schools in others. And it's really just a simple leveling of the playing field. Some folks in the House, they think that this is an attack on charter schools. They think that it's not going to allow charter schools to go and do whatever they want. The problem is it may be a select few people in the charter lobbyist community that doesn't like it, but there was a great article in the Detroit Free Press the other day where parents of students in charter schools say, we want quality schools, we want good options, we support this commission that the Senate proposed in their plan. And so, you see that the people's voices are being left out, and some of the lobbyist voices, they're the ones that are flexing their muscles trying to get their way.
So, obviously some of those schools could be closed, right? And consolidation too, or what?
The hope would be down the road that type of stuff would happen, just sort of naturally. There's nothing in the bill that forces any school to close, forces any school to open, none of that stuff. But we think that when we, publish how well a school is performing so that a parent can see it, and provide transportation options to get to and from good schools or bad schools to get away from them,
Right.
We think that it's just going to level off kind of naturally, where a parent can say, you know what, the school down the street from me is a terrible performing school. But now that I've got this transportation available to me for my child, I can get my child to a top school, an A school. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to say, you know, to hell with this poor school down the road.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's to me not a good option. When we talk about options, I think we need to talk about quality options.
And the transportation
right now.
Transportation was a big issue with you too. I know you had mentioned that.
Big time.
Yeah.
You know, there's some areas in Detroit where it's a 30 by 30 block area with no schools, and so if children don't have reliable transportation to or from, for whatever reason, they're stuck with very few options, or they're stuck walking 3, 4, 5 miles to school every morning.
Yeah, and that's not safe.
Well, it's not safe, and it's definitely not one of the. You know, I walked uphill to school 5 miles both ways. You know, my story type thing, right?
Yes, it's scenario.
Yeah.
There.
So those are really the two sticking points. I'm hoping we can figure it out, but we're still keeping our nose to the grindstone right now on it. The other big issue that we had come out of the Senate Energy and Technology Committee this week was a rewrite of the energy policy that we have in this state.
Mm-hmm.
The bill came out of committee, 6 yeses, 1 no, and 3 passes. And I was one of those people who passed. And the reason for that is I don't think the bill is good enough yet to warrant a yes vote on it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think the bill is so bad that I would vote no on it. I think that we still have some work to do. And so what I tried to do was to signal to folks, you know, I'm going to pass for right now. I could get there. I want to keep working on a few things with renewable energy efficiency, and the solar stuff I've talked about in the past.
Mm-hmm.
And so those conversations are ongoing now as well. And, of course, you know, most of the legislature is looking next week to the Mackinac Policy Conference, as you're aware. So I'm going to be headed up to Mackinac next Wednesday for 2 days to participate in the policy conference where, you know, labor and business and small business and the legislature comes together on the island to talk about the future of the state and the direction we want to go the next year.
Yeah, there's usually some interesting stuff comes out of that.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes it's good stuff. Sometimes it's not so good stuff.
Exactly.
But to me, it's always better to be at the table and to be a part of the conversation than to sit back and let it happen to you. So I'm bringing my staff with me, and we look forward to having some good conversations and meeting with some folks about, you know, what we're doing here in southeastern Michigan and, you know, what we're doing across the state as well.
Mm-hmm. Is that an entire week then, or what? Does that last a week?
No, well, I think that the conference itself might be a week, but the legislature is in session until Wednesday. And so we'll get out of session about noon on Wednesday. Then I'll hop in the car and drive up. So I'll probably get there about 4 or 5 o'clock Wednesday afternoon.
Mm-hmm.
I'm there Wednesday. I'm there Wednesday evening. I'm there all day Thursday. Come home on Friday. So really 2.5 days for me.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
What's the latest on the Flint situation? That's been kind of a little bit quiet lately, but
it has been quiet.
They're
some
things on Facebook about the governor's tab for legal fees and stuff. But
yeah, well, we're the ones that are paying the bill too. You know, it's
exactly
$6,000 a day is what I think the governor's legal fees are at this point. You know, as far as I'm concerned, the investigation is far from over. The work is far from over. You know, there has not been one single pipe that's been replaced yet in the city, and so
serious?
Not a single one.
Oh my gosh! Wow.
And so, you know, what worries me just months ago, I said I'm worried that, you know, when the national media dies down and when all these other things die down,
that's
Flint's going to get forgotten, and we cannot let that happen.
No.
And so, you know, a number of us are trying to keep, again, it in the forefront of the conversations in Lansing. We're trying to make sure that the money gets spent to provide the nutrition, the nursing services, the education services, the wraparounds, you know, whatever else it may be, to make sure that the folks up in Flint don't get left behind, and to make sure that we talk about infrastructure improvements across the state moving forward so that this doesn't happen again to anybody else.
Right. Yeah, I think that when they brought charges up on those 3 people, those 3 that, you know, the little guys or whatever that probably had hardly anything to do with it, they kind of figured, you know, oh, well, this will shut them up for a while, right?
So I do not disagree with that at all. And my sort of sentiment or read on the sentiments around town is that these three guys, bottom of the barrel, not really the guys who are responsible for whatever, and so more heads are going to roll is what the feeling is that I'm getting around town.
Yeah.
And so we'll see how high or what echelon that's taken to. But like you said, I mean, these guys, did they know something? They probably did, but these guys are far down the totem pole, and there were people much higher up who knew a whole lot more and chose to do nothing. So what are we going to do about those guys?
Right, they just throw those three under the bus for now.
Oh yeah.
But I did see they're doing some protesting out in front of his house in Ann Arbor, so they're trying.
The governor, he cannot go anywhere in Ann Arbor without coming under fire, and rightfully so. I mean, this is a guy. He was at a restaurant the other day in Ann Arbor, and all the people in the restaurant, they were, how you might be at a bar and you send somebody a beer, you send somebody a drink.
Yeah.
The governor goes out in Ann Arbor and people send him glasses of water as a way to sort of say,
Oh, you're kidding.
You pick the two words that you think people are trying to say to him.
Oh my God.
So he is not getting a free pass anywhere he goes in town.
Yeah,
But again, I think we're moving too slow. I mean, we've been saying it for months now. Too slow.
I can't believe not one pipe has been replaced yet. I mean, what the heck? They've received some money, though, right? They have received some money for that.
Some of the money for the infrastructure from the federal government, I don't necessarily think that has been specifically for the replacement of the pipes. I think that they're looking to the state government and the locals to do some of that. And somebody suggested the other day, well, let's levy a tax or a judgment levy on the residents of Flint. I mean, what a smack in the face! We're gonna poison you with your own pipes, and then we're gonna make you pay.
Jesus, yeah.
Oh yeah. It really is insult to injury. Insult to injury.
Wow. What do you got on the Veterans Fund? Anything on that?
So I had a great conversation today in the Veterans Committee. I try to bite my tongue on some of these things when people want to do a free fishing license for a veteran or a free whatever for a veteran. The fact of the matter is, Kerry, the veterans, we're not out looking for free stuff. We're not out there looking for, whatever. I think at the end of the day, some guys, they appreciate the recognition. They appreciate what some folks are willing to do to recognize their service. But for the majority of guys, they just want to come home. They want to make a smooth transition. They want to get a job. They want to go to work. They want to raise a family. They want to get an education. And so there was a bill.
If they need that helping hand, they should get it.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Well, so there was a bill up in committee today, and it was going to be free fishing licenses for out-of-state veterans. And I said, you know what? Okay, I mean, no harm, no foul. Yeah. But, let's take a deeper dive here. We actually had a young veteran. He came in and he testified. He said, listen, the veteran in me wants to support this. But the conservation guy in me, realizes that for every license that we give away for free, we lose federal matching dollars that we use to protect our wetlands and our streams and in our environment. And he goes, I don't want to lose that support at the expense of a free fishing license. Mm-hmm. And I sat there, and the point that I made was what the bill does is, for the fishing licenses, it also does another bit to give you a free recreational passport, for all the state parks.
Oh, yeah.
And the way it would work is, you want to go into a state park, you just show them your ID and in you go. Well, most of the checks at the state park are done by, you go to the park, you go to wherever, and you park your car, and then somebody will go around and look for the designation on your tab, on the back of your license plate. Right. Well, if you're not there when they check your car, and you're in a state park without the state park designation, you're not there to show them your veterans card. And so you could get fined for it. And then you got to get fined, and then you got to go through the process of proving it and the whole 9 yards. So I said to the guys, what if we try to kill two birds with one stone here? We want to give veterans access to, pure Michigan, right? But at the same time, we need to know who these veterans are, where they're at. We've got 660,000 veterans in the state. We only know who 200,000 of them are, their address, their phone number, where they're at, the whole 9 yards.
Yeah.
I said, how about a simple, check box when you go to renew your license or your registration?
Yeah.
Did you know that we're giving out free whatever to veterans. Check the box here to signal you're a veteran. Provide your DD-214. We'll get you the free, license or registration, whatever it may be.
Mm-hmm.
And at the same time, we're building our database of veterans who we don't know who they are and where they are. So two birds, one stone.
Yeah.
And, if there's something we can do to provide state dollars to make sure that we're not losing the matching dollars, let's do it. So sometimes people want to rush things because it sounds good, but it's not always a good thing to do. Just because it sounds good, just because it feels good, doesn't necessarily mean it is good. And so, I told the committee today, let's pump the brakes a little bit. Let's go back to the drawing board, make sure we get this one right, and then we'll move forward, because I want to achieve it, but I don't want to lose anything in the process that could otherwise benefit these veterans as well.
Right. I agree totally. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You're on there, man.
We're trying.
Hey, what's the any update on the Grand Rapids home? Anything moving there?
So 2 new contractors have been identified to come in and provide supplemental staff to make sure that we can meet our staffing minimums. They've done a complete change of some of the best practices over there. They brought in a new health director to oversee the 2 veterans homes. And this September, the people who have the contract to provide those workers out in Grand Rapids, that contract is up for bid again. And so there's a potential for us to get some new people in there, a new manager, some new workers. I think that's a good thing. And so we held a hearing the other day on it. I know that we're planning on traveling out to Grand Rapids to hold a hearing, a formal legislative committee hearing in the veterans home to make sure that the veterans themselves can come testify about what's going on. And we're looking, on the whole about, how we do these veterans homes in general. Is it the right model that we have right now? Could we be doing things different? Do we need more? I obviously think we do. Where do we need them at? I obviously think we need them in southeastern Michigan. We probably need at least 2. And how we're going to pay for it. So, I've been pleased with some folks in the legislature and what their response has been to take a deeper dive on this issue. But again, there's still more work to be done. I want to make sure that we give the veterans out there every chance to make their voices heard on the issue, to make sure that we can address each and every one of their concerns. So we're making progress. I'm happy with that. We're not there yet.
That's mind-boggling. We got 650,000 veterans in Michigan, and we only know where 250,000 are.
That's right.
That's mind-boggling.
Oh yeah. So, I get an example that I like to use is when we did that veterans designation on the driver's license. I know you have it. I've got it. Do you have it? I think you have it, right?
Yeah, I got the V on there. Yep.
Yeah. Okay. So when they did that, 35,000 people who we previously did not know were veterans, where they were living in the state, came out of the woodwork and said, we want to have this on our driver's license. So that was a great way for us to, think outside the box. Yeah. And do something to help build that database. And I think that's a good thing. So, I think we just need to keep thinking outside the box. So, we could have the best programs in the world for the veterans. We could have phenomenal benefits. We could have great everything. Yep. But if we don't know where they're at to get it in front of them, it really is not doing any good.
Wow. That's amazing. Let me ask you, how did you like the Taste Fest?
Love the Taste Fest.
Wasn't that awesome? That was a good time.
Love the Taste Fest. Got some great press I saw there in the Garden City Observer.
Yeah.
And it's nice. It's just good to kind of have a casual night, just to hang out with everybody, bounce around the town, enjoy the people, enjoy the food. Garden City actually has some phenomenal restaurants, and not just no big chain restaurant. Right. I'm talking about local, family-owned, mom and pop restaurants, bars, putt-putt, this year, and the whole 9 yards. So when you get to highlight that, when you get to get people together and just sort of enjoy one another and each other's time and company, I always think it's a great time. And, I always like to support it. So I had a great time. My mom and dad, as you know, I brought them out this year to hang out and have fun, and they both had a great time. Yeah,
it was a great time. You rode the bus with us, the party bus,
right?
And your dad did some juggling. We got it on video. Dan
York.
Oh, yeah. A good video of everything, and that's out on Facebook. If people want to go and see that, it's on the GC Garden City.
I could go for some ribs from Golden Feather, man.
You know what? We went there tonight.
Oh, baby, those are some good ribs.
Oh, yeah, they were really good. Really, really good. Yeah, everybody, all the venues did a phenomenal job. I mean, the farmhouse, everyone. It was a lot of fun. Really was.
Right. Oh, yeah, I loved it.
So, anything else you got for us that you want to share, or you still doing your coffee hours until?
Yeah, still doing coffee hours into June, and then we're going to take July and August off. But yeah, second week of June. Let's see here, from 10:30 to 11:30, we'll be over. Excuse me, at the Maplewood Center. Yep. Anybody and everybody's welcome to come out. We always have a good time.
Yeah, we've missed the last couple. Cheryl with her surgery, and I don't know what else. Something else came up, but yeah, we're going to try and get back.
We've missed you.
Yeah, okay. Guest Force says he's going to be renewing his this fall, his license with his veteran ID.
Oh, that's great. That's great.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think that's a good thing. Like you said, get a database going and start finding these veterans wherever they're at.
Just get them the benefits. That's all we want to do.
And then I did want to mention you're going to be at the veterans ceremony in Garden City, right?
That's correct. Monday at 11 o'clock. Yeah,
11 o'clock on the on City Hall site there. I'm going to talk about a little bit later. Mayor Walker was hoping to call in after 8 o'clock, so I don't know. We'll see. If not, I will mention it. Brian's going to be the guest speaker. Did you see that?
Yeah, I saw that. I actually read it today in the paper.
Brian Chmielewski? Yeah. What is it?
Chmielewski.
Okay. Chmielewski.
Yep, yeah, you got it.
Hey, I know him better as Ziggy, okay?
Right, hey, that's all you got to know.
Brian Ziggy. Good guy. All right, look, I'm going to let you go if you have nothing else. I know you're a busy guy. You got an event tonight to go to, or are you just going to sack out at home?
Oh, no. So believe it or not, I wrapped up giving a speech up in Redford, drove my way into Dearborn, and I've got a graduation ceremony. I'm sitting in the parking lot right now, just finishing up this phone call. And
okay.
I'm going to head in, celebrate somebody graduating from college here. So we're always bouncing around.
Hey, let me just ask you real quick, how'd that go in Redford? I know, what was it, last week you were meeting with the two boards or whatever?
Oh, yeah, so they had an opportunity just for folks to come out and express whatever their thoughts and concerns were about the potential for the two districts to become one. I thought it went really well. People have legitimate concerns that I think that they need to get answers to, and so everybody was in the room and they had an opportunity to say what was on their mind. So I thought it went really, really well.
Okay, awesome. All right, well, look, I'll let you go and keep in touch. Anything else, you know my number.
My pleasure. Thanks, Gary. Thanks for having me back on.
All right, take care, Senator. Bye.
All right, bye-bye.
All right, Senator David Knezek from his car in the parking lot. Always good to have him on. All right, I did want to mention, let me bring it up here. I mentioned it earlier, the Garden City Memorial Day ceremony, which will be held by Mayor Randy Walker. He hosts the program, does a great job every year to honor all the men and women who served all the military branches. It's going to start at 11 a.m. On Monday, May 30th. It will be on the Garden City Hall lawn. The public is always invited to attend. Like I said, Brian Ziggy from American Legion is going to be the honored guest. Senator Knezek will be there. Let me see what else we got here. I just wanted to mention the Garden City Air Force Junior ROTC Color Guard will raise the flag during the Memorial Day program, which will be followed by an invocation by Associate Pastor David Ferrero from the Merriman Road Baptist Church, and a wreath-laying ceremony will take place. Garden City manager Bob Murray noted that the Memorial Day ceremony has grown over the years, and they do a great job. So Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, Coast Guard, anyone that served is more than welcome to come. The public's welcome. So come on out and show your support for the Memorial Day ceremony. 11 o'clock Monday morning, City Hall. Hope to see you there. Okay, let me see. I want to remind all residents that the next regular city council meeting will be held on Monday, June 6th at 7 p.m. in the council chambers. That's located at 6000 Middlebelt Road. They urge all residents to attend. It's always pretty interesting if you want to know how your city government runs. So if you want to get involved, there's your chance to do so. All right, let's get Joey and Holly in here for their 2-minute gardening tips for you, and then we'll do some community announcements.
This is Gardening in 2 Minutes. Edible pod beans, string beans, green beans, as some people call them, are some of the easiest crops to grow in your garden, regardless if you are growing in containers, raised beds, or traditional ground gardens. But they have their advantages and disadvantages, but it really depends on what your growing situation is.
You might want to think about where you're growing. If you do a lot of containers and you don't want to include a trellis, then bush beans are the answer for you. If you have a small space in your backyard and you want to use the trellis to bring things off the ground to include more space, then pole beans are ideal, or you can do a combination of both.
Bush beans take about 40 to 60 days to begin to put edible pods on this plant, and they will produce for an additional 4 to 6 weeks if you harvest on a regular basis. If you don't harvest, they will put one crop on, and then their growing cycle is done. Pole beans, on the other hand, take about 60 to 70 days to reach maturity, but they will produce all the way up to frost or when the weather gets far too cold for them to produce. The key thing for both of these are to harvest them when the pods are small. If you allow the pods to become big, the green beans or the string beans become large, the seed internally is large as well and can be not pleasant to eat. So keep in mind when it comes to harvesting them, when to harvest.
You also want to, they will grow in partial shade or full sun. We have both areas in our garden to grow our beans, and that is what we choose to do because we have that availability. So you do have those options.
So when it comes to growing green beans, if you're going to use a trellis, be creative or make sure the neighbor, if you're using an adjacent fence, you both have an agreement to the harvest. For more information on growing beans, our weekly video productions, as well as our free downloadable digital quarterly magazine, you can find all that information at
the WisconsinVegetableGardener.com.
A gardener for all gardeners. For Gardening in 2 Minutes, I'm Joy Baird.
I'm Holly Baird.
All right. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it. All right. In closing, I just want to mention that if you'd like to be a guest on our show like Senator Knezek, then all you have to do is send us an email at gccommunitychat@gmail.com, and we'll shoot you some available dates, and that's all there is to it. Maybe you own a business or belong to an organization. You'd like to share your information with us and the surrounding communities. If so, this is the forum for you. Once again, email us at gccommunitychat@gmail.com or give us a call at 734-788-9319. We look forward to hearing from you. Our show reaches several communities, as you know, in the area, so if you can get us some information about your business or organization, we would be more than happy to mention it on air for you. All right, are you a business owner, resident, or community advocate interested in serving the business community? If so, the Garden City Business Alliance is looking for you. Becoming a member is very easy. Just visit their website at gcbiz48135.org and fill out the contact page, or give them a call at 734-788-9319. Also visit their Facebook page at facebook.com/Garden City Business Alliance. So why not consider joining the GCBA and be a part of moving the business community forward? Or better yet, why not come to their next membership meeting as our guest Friday, June 10th, 9 a.m. at the Straight Farmhouse in the Grand Parlor at 6221 Merriman Road. That's just north of Ford Road. We want to thank Mark Hammer and all the folks over there for hosting our morning meetings for us. We really appreciate it. We hope you'll be able to attend. We would love to meet you and hope that you'll become a member of the GCBA.
Okay, before we sign off tonight, please jot these numbers down. If you'd like to become a volunteer for any of the DDA events, please give Kim or Teresa a call at 734-261-2830. The DDA office is located at 29213 Ford Road. And once again, if you'd like to become a member of the GCBA or a volunteer for any of their upcoming events, please call 734-788-9319, or once again, contact them through their website at gcbizbiz48135.org. Both the GCBA and DDA are working hard on events and dates right now, and we're always looking for volunteers. Please contact the DDA and GCBA today. Let me do some announcements here now, take care of some business. Once again, the Garden City Home Pantry Food Drive is going on all this month, May 1st through May 31st. You can win some Tiger tickets, 4 tickets to the Tigers bus trip Sunday, July 31st. It's a 1:05 p.m. game versus the Astros. $100 sports venue gift card also. And what you can do is drop off your stuff at the Sports Venue Bar and Grill at 6327 Middle Belt Road. Last year, 1,862 items were donated. The Garden City Gladiators raised over 800 items on their own. Some of the items needed are pasta sauce, peanut butter, jelly, barbecue sauce, tuna, mustard, ketchup, salad dressing, and any non-perishables items. So get that over to the sports venue and be entered to win some Tiger tickets. Also, the Garden City Garden Club, Sunday, May 29th from 11 a.m. to 1. They need weeders and volunteers to go over and plant the Gardenville Community Garden. You can join them. It's next to Lucky Dog on Middle Belt, right across from Kroger's. Bring tools, something to drink, and your enthusiasm. The community garden is a great way to support our community, growing fresh vegetables for those families challenged to provide healthy meals. Also, the Garden City Garden Club is sponsoring a neighborhood beautification contest. Meet the challenge and win prizes. At least 4 houses on one block need to participate. Contest runs from June 15th through August 15th. Entry forms can be picked up at Barson's Greenhouse at 6414 Merriman Road or at Lucky Dog, 5921 Middle Belt. A great way to get your neighborhood spruced up for summer. Also, the Garden Club is supplying free giant pumpkin seeds and tips on how to grow a giant pumpkin to anyone who would like to participate. Seeds need to be planted by June 15th, so you're going to have to get over to Barson's Greenhouse for your free seeds and entry forms at 6414 Merriman Road or at Lucky Dog, 5921 Middle Belt. Pumpkins will be weighed, measured, and judged at the annual Garden City Chili Cook-Off, which will be Saturday, October 8th. For more information, you can contact the Garden Club President, Stacy, at 734-564-3868, and grow your pumpkins. Also, there will be a blood drive at the First United Methodist Church, Fellowship Hall, 6443 Merriman Road in Garden City, and that's going to be held on Sunday, May 29th, 8:30 a.m. to 2:30. For an appointment, please call Dick Tripp at 734-522-5179. Come and donate and receive a $15 gift card from Kroger while supplies last. So you're going to want to get over there, give some blood, the gift of life. Brenda's Butterfly Habitat is getting ready to open, located at 6414 Merriman Road in Westland. Her phone number is 734-788-0539. She's going to open the first Thursday in June, which is June 2nd, and that's going to go through the first Friday in September, which is 9-2. She's going to be closed July 4th. Hours of operations, Wednesday through Sunday, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m., closed Monday and Tuesday. Admission is free, but she does accept donations. She does a great job over there. Merchandise is available, and Caterpillars given away only Thursdays, Friday, and Saturday. So if you haven't been over to Brenda's Butterfly Habitat, you're really missing out. It's a beautiful place that she has over there. Take the grandkids, the kids, or just go over there yourself and meditate for a little while. It's a great place to visit. Also, Garden City Mini Golf is celebrating their 50th anniversary, June the 4th, 12 p.m. to 5 p.m. Admission includes a hot dog, chips, and drink, souvenir, and face painting. 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. Glow Golf includes free glow bracelet and souvenir. Adults are $5.50, children 4 and under, seniors 62 and over, only $4. Rain date would be June the 5th. Let's hope that they have some wonderful weather. The mini golf is located at 29060 Ford Road. Head on over there and help them celebrate 50 years in business. Also, the outdoor flea market and food market is about to start the second and third Saturday of the month, June through September, 9 a.m. to 2 p.m., and that's located once again at the Straight Farmhouse Garden City Historical Museum on Merriman Road, north of Ford Road on the west side of Merriman. They're going to have something for everyone: toys, antiques, collectibles, jewelry, household items, man cave signs, and much, much more. Questions or directions, please contact the Straight Farmhouse at 734-838-0650, and this is weather permitting, this event. Vendors are wanted. Setup begins at 8 a.m., $15 for a 10 by 10 space, no advance reservations, and it's payable the day of the market. All proceeds will go to help fund the museum. They do have some restrictions, though. They don't want any weapons, no offensive pictures or material or literature, no food or beverage sales. For more information on vendors, give Diane a call at 734-765-7999. And let's see, don't forget, as a free service to all the residents, you can take your old or outdated prescription medicines to the Garden City Police Department. There's a box in the lobby to collect and properly dispose of potentially dangerous medicines which are no longer needed. You don't want that flushed down the toilet. That is a no-no. And if you don't know by now, the Garden City Public Library offers drop-in computer tutoring. Kind of got tongue-tied there a little bit. Every Tuesday from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. Do you need a brush up on the basics? Come on in and take advantage of this great resource. The library is located at 31735 Maplewood in Garden City. For more information, give them a call at 734-793-1830. And I think that is about all I have in the way of announcements. I do have one more here. Join the Garden City Kiwanis for their trip to the Greektown Casino and the Belle Isle Gardens and Aquarium. That's going to be Saturday. This is a little ways off, August 27th, if you want to mark your calendars now. You pay $30, and you're going to receive $20 in slot pay. So the trip will cost you $10. You can't beat that. All proceeds will help the Kiwanis help local kids. Come be a part of the fun for a wonderful cause. Here is how to join in the fun. Call Party Animal Travel at 734-525-9777 or contact your local Kiwanis member and tell them you want to sign up. Once again, the cost is $30. You can pay cash, check, or credit card. The bus will load at the Garden City Kmart at 9 a.m., and the Party Animal will be having raffles on the way to the casino and on the way back. You can win a trip from Party Animal Travel also. Every player will receive $20 in slot play at the casino. Take time to explore the new Detroit and the new restaurants in Greektown. The bus will depart the casino at 3 p.m. and make a tour of Belle Isle to see the remodeled aquarium and conservatory. So give them a call if you're interested at 734-525-9777 and make your reservations now. You must be at least 21 years of age to participate. So that sounds like a good deal. All right, that's all I got. Well, look, I think we're ready to call this a podcast. Boy, when I'm the only one here, it doesn't echo as much. All right, I want to thank my co-host, Tom, and a big thanks to Senator David Knezek. Also, thanks to Joy and Holly and everyone who joined us in the chat room, and to those that will be listening and downloading the show later, and also those that will be watching the show on our YouTube channel tomorrow. We really appreciate your support every week. Remember, the audio from tonight's show will be available on our Facebook page at facebook.com/GCChat shortly after we sign off tonight. And also on our main show page at TalkShoe.com, call ID 82757. And look for the video of tonight's show tomorrow on our YouTube channel at youtube.com/CommunityChatShow. And if you like the show, don't forget to subscribe. Just click on that little red subscribe button right below the video. We would appreciate it. All right, remember the success of a community depends on the community, so please support your local businesses. And if you see something, say something. Look out for one another out there. For all your weather information, be sure to head on over to DopplerTomsWeather.com. It's got a great little website over there, very clean and very simple, easy to follow, user-friendly. And once again, keep Mike in your thoughts and prayers for a speedy recovery. Get well soon, buddy. We need you back on the show. So, and then don't forget the Memorial Day ceremony, Monday at 11 o'clock in the morning at City Hall, right on the front lawn there. It's a great ceremony that they put on. And I hope to see everybody there. Let's see, what else am I forgetting? I know I'm probably forgetting something. Mike isn't here to remind me. So anyway, thanks for joining us tonight. On behalf of Tom, Holly, and Joey, this is Kerry saying take care, and we'll see you all next week, June 2nd, right here on TalkShoe.com, show ID 82757. And don't forget, we'll be doing our 300 show celebration at the new Art Center that's going to be opening next to the Moose. So get that on your calendar, July 14th. 7 p.m. We're going to have all kinds of giveaways and food available and a cake and take a tour of the new Gardens Art Center there. It's going to be a great time. Last year we had our 200 show celebration at the Garden City Cafe, and we packed that place. So we're hoping to pack the new Garden Center, Art Center. So that's all I got for tonight. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. Be safe and have a good night. Take care.